Yes guys, welcome back to the next episode of my Monoposto 2023 Track Guide series. We have the third episode here today at the Albert Park circuit in Melbourne, Australia, and I'm going to be giving you all my tips and tricks on how to absolutely master a lap around this fantastic circuit. If you're excited, be sure to smash the like button, click subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series if you're finding these videos helpful, and let's dive in. First things first, in the pit lane to talk about setup. Now, as you can see, I'm driving the pink Alpine. It shouldn't matter which car you're driving. Leave the wings and brake balance default. I would just slightly adjust the suspension slightly to the left hand side to make it slightly lower. That was the default setup that was presented with me. As I'd say, the only thing I'd tweak would be the suspension height. Obviously you want soft tyres to get the best lap, because this circuit, although it's quite high speed, there are lots of high speed corners, so downforce is crucial. Here we are now at the final corner, ready to start the lap. As I say, you want to come wide on the entry and then switch back to the left hand side to make sure you maximise the width of the track there and hopefully carry the most speed, because all of this is going to gain you lap time down to turn 1. Get on the power nice and early up into ERS, DRS, and you blast all the way down the pit straight. Keep your car as much to the left hand side as possible without touching the grass, as you'll see why later on. Getting towards the first corner, you want to come off ERS just about where the blue strip ends. As I say, I like to manually control ERS. And in terms of going towards turn 1, obviously it's still quite a high speed right-left hander. What I would do is I would brake and sort of turn at about the same time where this curbing on the left hand side starts, as you can see. So about here, you want to make sure your car's on the left hand side turning into this corner, and as I say, you want to brake, but you don't want to brake too hard because you can use some of the curbing on the right hand side, and this is really quite wide. You can use some of the blue runoff on there to really maximise the width of the circuit and carry as much speed as you can back into ERS down towards turn number 3. As you say, I wouldn't brake any later than this curb on the left hand side, but to be fair, you probably could just about get away with braking at the 50-metre board. Here's what happens if you do brake at the 50-metre board. It's really difficult to kill off the speed and you can end up drifting wide. So as you would say, I would end up braking right on that curb. Make sure you turn in nice and early as well. So yeah, don't let the car drift out too wide, don't turn in too late. Basically make sure you do kill the speed off of that corner. Then once you've come through, bring your car to the right hand side so you can take this corner flat and use the whole track. And again, this next corner that's coming up, I believe, is turn 5. Bring your car to the left on the entry, then use the full width of the track to take this flat. You can use this curb and blue runoff on the left hand side if you want to. It doesn't make much of a difference either way, as we now head down towards turn 6, 7. This is arguably the most difficult corner on the track I've found during my practice runs. It's very easy to misjudge the braking point. I would brake actually at the 50-metre board. You don't want to brake any later than that. Here's what happens if you do brake later than that. You can see if you try and brake when the curbing starts, although I've seen on videos in F122 it's much faster, brake at the 50-metre board, and crucially, like in Bahrain, hop over that inside curb. So make sure you cut all of this. If it's here, you might as well just abuse it to help gain you lap time. Strictly speaking, you are going off track, but there's no rules for invalidation. It will gain you lap time, the curb will not spit you out. Obviously then you're straight back on the power into ERS, and once again with here, this is just the fastest line. As you take all of these corners that are flat, I would dump ERS down the back straight. Use that blue runoff on the right hand side there. Make sure that you can pretty much probably get all 4 wheels off the track there, because again, that's using the fastest, shortest route. Then come over to the right hand side to brake before this corner. Through those corners back there, you just want to make sure you use the fastest line possible, shortest line possible. Now at this corner, you don't want to brake too late, and it's very easy to lose the back end. I will say the car can get very unsettled if you try and get on the power too early, so you want to come into the corner, brake just about halfway through that blue strip there. You do want to come off the power for a fraction of a second. So as I say, about where the car is now, just about here by the end of that blue asphalt on the right hand side, that's where you want to brake lightly, turn in at the same time. You don't want to get back on the power immediately, as the car can just snap into oversteer and you can just lose it completely. On the exit, use as much of that blue runoff as you possibly can. Try not to touch the grass, as that will unsettle the car, and then we'll see you back into ERS, and then you want to sort of come to the right and then drift back over to the left hand side for this corner. Now this corner is narrower than you think. Brake at this curb here. I wouldn't brake at the 50 meter board unless you're going for a dive bomb and then you're just going to completely slam on the brakes and lock up. So I would be safe, brake at the curb, then take the inside line there. It also allows you to get a better exit, get on the power sooner. That's going to gain you lap time. This corner here, I believe you brake in real life, but this is taken flat in Monoposto. You can take this corner completely flat. Then for the final corner, just brake at the DRS checkpoint. It's very obvious where that is. Again, try and take the inside line rather than taking it wide. Then come out wide for the final corner, back on the power early. And that's a lap of Albert Park. I'm now going to play you my best lap. As I said, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed the series, if you're finding it helpful. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.